Yo, what's up guys, I'm back on a review here. This time we have this AJ Morales. Now, you'll hear me call AJ a lot because that's his name. It's just short and it's so easy, so if you hear AJ, it's Morales. So this AJ card, I played, I think it was like 10 games with rivals and the rest friendlies, purely only because I had to have that Xavi card on loan and I couldn't play any more games, otherwise he would just run out. So on stats then, so he's 5'11", he's got high medium work rates, he's right footed with 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot. He's got 91 pace, 90 shooting, 80 passing, 90 dribbling and 75 physical. So on paper looks like quite hard. I decided to go with the Hawk Chem style because I feel like that's what's probably most like needed for a striker with booster. You don't really need like extra passes as a striker, although it would be nice. You don't really need it necessarily, so I decided to go with the Hawk Chem style. I played in the 4-4-2 alongside Alessandrini. As I just said, mainly in Elite Division. There's a few friendlies here and there, and you'll see that in the clips. But I've got nothing more to say for the intro, so if you do enjoy it or want to see more, please do subscribe. I'm trying to get 1,000 subs by the end of the year, so help towards that. I greatly appreciate it. But I've got nothing more to say, so enjoy the clips, and I'll see you after for the positive and negatives. Peace. Right, so my overall thoughts about the card then. Now, I'm going to be honest, at the start, mates will back me with this. This was probably one of the worst cards I've used. Now, this is just at the start, okay? So, I played this game in like 2 or 3 games, and honestly, he could not finish a single thing. He wasn't doing anything. He was getting a few assists here and there, but that was because Alessandrini was doing most of the work. But I don't know why in the first couple of games, it was just like a honeymoon phase, but like the reverse honeymoon, because he was actually bad on them, and I could not stand it. Like, I was actually tempted to just bin off this view and not do it because I couldn't stand it. But I stuck with him because I felt like he would actually be good in the end. And he was, to be fair, but that was something I will talk about. So first for me, I would talk about the pace. And the pace for me wasn't as good as like someone like Alessandrini, but with the Hawk Chem style, it was still decent in game. I didn't have many problems with it. He was still outpaced like the people like Mendy and stuff like that quite nicely, so that was good. Now, the shooting, as I just talked about, so the finishing is inconsistent, I'm completely honest, and I don't know why, because it really shouldn't be looking at them stats. The finishing stat is 92 base with 90 shot power and 90 composure, so I really don't see how he was missing so many chances. He's very weird, he'll score the hard ones, but he won't score the easy ones. Like the 1v1s, he really struggled with. I don't know why. It's just something that he just. People will slate me saying it's not, but I don't know. There's something about that I just didn't like. But at the end of the games, he was starting to pick up his finishing. It was really nice, to be fair. Especially if you green it with him, it goes flying. So the attack position was actually really good in games, to be fair. That was what allowed him to create all the assists and that, because he was always in the right positions for Alessandrini. The long shots, I think I had one, it absolutely flew in. I think it was really nice, to be fair. It shocked me completely, because I was like, oh my god, how has I gone in? But it wasn't friendly, so. And the volleys I didn't really get to try out, and also the penalties. I think I might have had one and I Penenka it and scored it, but that's just what I always do. So if you ever play against me, dive, because I'm going down the middle for Penenka. Now, passing for me, woeful. Absolutely horrible. It's one of the worst passes I've used this year. I'm just going to be straight up with it. Honestly, actual awful. Like, because in him and Alessandrini have somewhat similar passing. Alice's felt like it was Messi kind of level, and this felt like it was. I'm not going to throw anyone on the bus, but really bad. Like, genuinely awful. I don't know what it was. Maybe so that's why I like you could probably change the chem style here and there. Maybe to like an engine or something, just to boost up passing, because it is like seriously bad. Although you don't really need passing on a striker, you can really feel it on this card. I don't know why. Next up is the dribbling stats. So you got the agility, which isn't bad in games, to be fair. It's not bad, but it's not amazing. It's not like a Neymar kind of swift, but it's not bad. And especially since he has 4-star skills, again, not really the best. The balance is actually decent in games, to be fair. The balance was quite good. To stay composed on his feet, although he wasn't very good in the 1v1s, he was still composed to get the shot off, sort of that. Now the ball control, another good aspect about the card. He really had like nice close touches when you R1 drilled past him, so that was really good. I did enjoy that about the card. Now next up for me, as I just talked about it before in the finishing side of things, the composure is actually decent when you like stick him on a hard angle and stuff like that. But for some reason, when he goes like 1v1 on like the actual just like he keeps running out on him, he was struggling. I don't know why. Now next up is the head accuracy and the jumping, which is the air ability, and it's useless, don't bother. He's 5'11" to be fair, so it's not too bad, but he's not really going to do anything really amazing in the air, and it's just, there's no point. Now next up for me is the stamina. Now the stamina is actually really good in games, to be fair. I didn't have any issues. He run most of the time, because you're saying you're going to play him striker, because if you're going to play him wide, that passing's got to be better, and it Cam, no chance, don't blame Cam. If you play him Cam, but the stamina for a striker is actually decent. It will last your game. And also the strength is actually very similar to Alessandrini's. I think Alessandrini's got one more, but this is actually felt better on this card because he's taller. Although he doesn't have like other aspects like the aggression like Alessandrini does, he definitely has the strength, which was actually quite nice on this card. Also the 4-star is really nice on him, especially those skills. If he had 3-star skills like David does, he would definitely, I would hate this card, but 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot is actually quite nice, to be fair. But some of my like positive and negative side of things, let's get to overall scores, and I'll say like in depth of what I think of each aspect. So on overall scores then for this Morales card. Now I feel like this card is a little bit worse than Alessandrini. I say a little bit, I feel like quite a bit. In most aspects, if not all, he's actually kind of worse in my opinion. So we'll start then. So first for me is the pace. Now I gave Alessandrini a 9 out of 10, and I feel like Alessandrini's pace is better than this card, so I'm going to have to base it off that. So I'm going to give this card an 8.5 out of 10. I don't think unless it's bad, the pace, but I just feel like if I'm comparing it to the other striker in this team, which was a lot better, I feel like it has to be less, to be honest. Now the shooting, on stats, it actually looks better in terms of Morales, and in the game he does feel like quite good at finishing. But as I just talked about at the start, the inconsistency of them was just a little bit frustrating. So overall for the shooting, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I know people are going to pull me up on that saying, oh my god, look at the stats, it's not, but like try him in game, you'll see the inconsistency at times. I don't know why it is, because all the stats look like he should be good at finishing, but here and there it would just go horribly wrong for him. Now next up for me is the passing. Now I gave Alessandrini a 7 out of 10, and I said this guy's got worse passing, and he does like by far, so I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10, and that's being generous, to be honest. Like those passing stats are a lie, they really should be all orange. It's actually awful. Now the dribbling overall, he doesn't have 5-star skills, he's got less agility than Alessandrini, he's got decent balance, to be fair, decent ball control, decent composure, and decent dribbling stat. So overall for that, I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10 as well. I gave Alessandrini an 8 out of 10, and I feel like Alessandrini's better overall in the dribbling aspects, but he has got low composure. Alice, where this has got like, this Morales has got like okay composure and actually decent agility and all of that. So he's quite well rounded on it, but he's just like, he's not the complete package, I'll say. So next up for me is the physicals. Now he's got good stamina and he's got a decent strength, but the other aspects are a bit S. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, I would say. I'm just like, I keep looking down at there to like base it on what I've said for Alessandrini, because I need to like compare the cards necessarily, because I feel like Alessandrini tops him in most aspects, to be fair. But I'm trying to be like honest about this card. So value, for instance, I think he's around 100k currently. I've like not had this card for like 2 days now, because obviously it was Christmas and I've only just got around to review, like editing it and reviewing all that. So overall for the value points, I'm going to give it I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, because it's actually still a good card for the price. He's very, very cheap. He's one of the cheapest ones you can get, and I do think he's a good card, to be fair, but I just feel like there's a bit lacking to this card. I don't know really what it is. Maybe skills, maybe a bit more consistency, maybe a bit more passing. Just generally overall it needs a bit more to this card. So that means on overall score then, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. I don't necessarily think he's a bad card. I just feel like there is aspects to him. If he had like 5-star skill on this card, like EA should like magically make like 5-star skills on like a card or something like that, just to make it a bit more fun. Like they've made Sterling left-footed, I think it is. I think they've given him an extra weak foot as well. Like they should just make this AJ card 5-star skills done on that, just to make it fun, and that would probably boost my ratings up and stuff like that. But I can't give it any more than 8 out of 10, because he was a bit inconsistent at times. But also from my review, as always, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1k subs by the end of the year. I'm very, very close now. So if you can subscribe, please do. But I've got nothing more to say, so I'll see you in the next video, and peace out, guys.